Hi guys, I'm Andrea. I'm 25 and I am saving money for a down payment. I feel like I want to be a bit more casual while I'm talking in this video, so I'm going to hold my mic this time. Saving for a down payment can be so daunting, especially now that I'm 25. I feel like life is just getting so much more serious, and the big adult decisions that I felt were so far away not too long ago are now creeping up on me. And I feel like, especially at this age, I'm turning 26 this year, so many of my peers are in such different phases in their lives that I feel like I can be so ahead but yet so behind at the same time, and everything is just so confusing. So for example, some people are well into their careers, some people just started their careers, some people are still in school, some people never started school. Big milestones are being made: getting engaged, getting married, moving out, purchasing a property, buying a car. There are so many things that happen in your 20s that it just feels like the world is just so much more serious now, and it can be so scary because I feel like those things were just so far away. I've come to the conclusion that people's priorities in their 20s can vary so much from person to person. I personally have two specific priorities with how I want to spend my money in my 20s, and my first one is owning a home. Because my number one priority is saving for a down payment, moving out, and owning a property in the future, I and my boyfriend have both decided to live with our parents, with our respective parents, until we have enough money to move out together. My second priority is travel slash vacation. I feel like every more adult person that I've talked to has always said to prioritize going on vacation, especially before I have kids, because it's just so much easier now. So that is my second priority. And then my third priority with an asterisk is purchasing a car. I know eventually I'll probably need one, but I want to try for as long as I can to not get one in order to put as much money in my savings for my down payment. Right now, I'm really lucky that I am still able to live at home and I'm still able to borrow my parents' cars. So whenever I need the car, it is there for me. If not, I have my boyfriend to pick me up, drop me off, and then I also have public transit, Uber, things like that. And I've decided that owning a car and the costs that come along with it just aren't worth it right now for me in this specific part of my life. However, depending on where I purchase my home will determine if I need a car. All right, let's get into my strategies on how I'm going to be using my tax sheltered government accounts to my advantage in order to save for my down payment in the more efficient and effective way. There's a really simple and easy quiz on Wealthsimple that will help you determine which accounts would be best to prioritize for you. But to be honest, I did not do it until yesterday. However, when I did do it, I had the same results on that quiz as the results that I concluded myself through extensive research on how I'm going to efficiently use these accounts. So it is up to you what you want to do. So yeah, that quiz is a great tool. However, please do your research on how you want to prioritize these accounts yourself. Um, don't trust things blindly and do your own research. Okay, so my number one priority right now for saving for the down payment of my future house or property is the First Home Savings Account, or the FHSA. This is a relatively new account. I believe it only became available in 2023. And I remember in 2023, I was still quite new with my investing journey. So I remember going to a TD Canada Trust branch and trying to open an account with them in, I believe it was July. And they told me that I was not allowed to have a self-directed FHSA, which I did not like at all. And to be honest, the TD employee at that specific branch did not like that I wanted to have a self-directed account at all and belittled me so much. But I held my ground and ended up not opening an account with them. And then I went on Wealthsimple and opened my first investing account there. Previously, all my investments were at TD Bank. So right now, my priority is maxing out my FHSA because it combines the benefits of both the TFSA and RRSP. It's like the TFSA because it is tax sheltered from any growth within the account, and that means that any money that I earn in that account grows tax-free. And it's like the RRSP where any contributions lowers my taxable income for the year. I especially love that I do not have to repay any money that I take out of this account, like the RRSP. Therefore, maxing out this account will be my main priority to save for a down payment. Again, like I said previously, I opened this account in 2023, so my current contribution room as of this year, 2025, is $24,000. The second account that I will prioritize to save for my down payment is my TFSA. I feel like at this point, a lot of people will wonder why I'm not investing in my RRSP as a second priority. And to be honest, the reason is flexibility. So for those of you that don't know, there is a home buyer's plan that you can use within your RRSP and take out $60,000 penalty free and use that towards the cost of purchasing or building your home. Any money that you take out of your RRSP needs to be paid back within 15 years. There's just so much more flexibility with your TFSA versus your RRSP. I can take money out without any penalties and I don't lose any contribution room. I can eventually put that money back in. And with the RRSP, I have to specifically use the money that I take out for home expenses. So what if I change my mind and I decide that you know what? I'm going to rent. I don't want to buy a house anymore. I just want the flexibility to choose. The home buyer's plan and the RSP just have a lot more limitations than the TFSA does. So what are my plans after I max out my TFSA? I turned 18 in 2017, so my max cumulative contribution room as of 2025 is $55.5 thousand. Oh my gosh. And with my current plan, I should be maxing out my TFSA fully by 2026, which is super exciting. Let's say that I've maxed out my FHSA, I've maxed out my TFSA. What is my next course of action? It will be the RRSP. So like what I said before, the RRSP has more limitations than the FHSA and the TFSA, but it has a lot more limitations for me, specifically because I am a public servant. So for my full-time job, I am indeed a public servant. I work for the Crown, which also means that I have a defined benefit pension plan. Because I have a defined pension plan with my employer, that means my RRSP contribution room is a lot smaller than regular people because my pension contributions are counted towards my RRSP contributions. Your RRSP contribution limit depends on how much money you make. I believe right now it's 18% of last year's income is your contribution room. Okay, I looked it up. I'm right. It's 18% up to a certain amount. So for example, I've been working full time for 3 years now, and then including my co-ops and stuff like that. I looked at my CRA account and my lifetime contribution room for my RRSP is $22,000, which compared to other people who make around the same money as me is a lot less. I also plan on being a public servant pretty much forever. I don't have any intentions on working private. So whether I change employers, I still should be okay with having a defined benefit pension plan. To be honest, because of this pension plan, I'm not super eager to save for retirement. I know a lot of financial influencers and things like that, they really talk about retiring early. I know that's something that's really cool to look forward to, but I also started working as a public servant really young. I believe I was 22 or 20. Yeah, I was 22. So I will be entitled to my full pension by the time that I'm 52. When I think about it, the RRSP just has a lot of limitations when it comes to being able to take the money out. Of course, it's specifically for retirement. I don't like the thought of having to pay back this debt to myself, if that makes sense. And being in a lower tax bracket now, I feel like it is more beneficial for me to use it when I hit the next tax bracket so I don't have to pay as much taxes. Obviously, I will use the home buyer's plan eventually when I have that extra money, but I'm hoping that the majority of my down payment will be from my FHSA and my TFSA. According to my self-made timeline, I should also be able to contribute to this account by 2026. So exciting. My last priority in terms of accounts that I will be using to save for my down payment will be a high interest savings account or a high yield savings account, you can call it, or an unregistered account. Essentially, my plan is to use these accounts once I've maxed out all of my government accounts. Okay, let's start talking about my investment strategy on how I'll be saving for this down payment. The investment strategy is to not invest this money in stocks at all. I've read quite a few books on financial literacy. I follow a lot of financial influencers and things like that. And according to the research I've done, any money that I intend to use in less than 5 years should not be put into the stock market at all. And that's simply just because you never know what's going to happen in the stock market. For example, let's say the year is 2017. I finally decide, okay, I'm going to save for a down payment. It's going to take me a few years. In 2020, that's when I'll buy a house. We all know what happened in 2020, and that was unprecedented, right? And the stock market just went down so much. And let's say I just needed that money. Like it just, the market can be so volatile and so unforgiving. I feel like because we've only seen green for so long, people are quite optimistic with the outcomes of their investments. That is completely fine, and obviously it's up to your risk tolerance, but I want to play it on the safe side, especially when it comes to such a big purchase like this. I don't want to have like my butt handed to me when it comes to that, because I want it to be risky, and things like that. So right now, to be honest, the majority of my investments are in ETFs, which I need to sell, um, because I wasn't sure what my timeline would be for buying a house. I didn't know what my timeline would be, whether it was more than 5 years, less than 5 years, if I was going to rent first. So a lot of my stocks are in ETFs like VFB, XEQT, but everything that's in my FHSA, or at least 90% of my FHSA, is only in cash TO. I very sadly plan on selling all my stocks and just investing in cash TO this year. And I can also take advantage of any high interest savings accounts that could be offered. Right now, I think I have one with Tangerine. That's just with my regular savings account. Investment strategy is honestly nothing special. It will just be very low risk, guaranteed funds. So to summarize this video for you, the accounts that I am prioritizing in order are 1. FHSA, 2. TFSA, 3. RRSP, 4. Non-registered account / high yield savings account. If all goes according to plan, I will be in the financial position to max all of these accounts by the time I am ready to buy a home, and then I will be able to combine my savings with my boyfriend, and hopefully, we will be able to purchase a place to ourselves. If you're watching this video because you're also trying to determine what accounts you should prioritize first, please let me know what your plan is in the comments. I'd love to know after you've done all your research and how it compares to mine. And if you've purchased a home in the Greater Toronto Area or in Canada, I would love to know how you saved for yours as well. Please leave a comment below. And if you're not already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. I would love for you to follow my financial journey and my curly hair journey as I navigate my 20s living here in Toronto, Canada. Bye guys, thank you for watching.